Aloha, this is Rosa McAllister, and welcome back to On Being a Service Warrior, interviews with the firewalkers among us. Those who have had their struggles and yet have chosen to come out the other side into lives of service for others. Click subscribe and tap the notification bell to keep up with future episodes of this ongoing series. If this is your first time joining us, don't forget to catch up with other episodes in this series, as well as other offerings in Network's YouTube channel. Mahalo, thank you, and always remember you are the light. Be the light. Welcome back, friends, to the next episode of On Being a Service Warrior. So, I think it was 1.5 years ago I ventured with my wonderful friend Deb Kern to Lake Atitlan, Guatemala, to assist in 2 women's retreats. We decided to go a little early to get acclimated, to prepare for all the women who would be joining us, and to take in the beauty and the healing energy of a real magical place. So we also wanted to do some work and some healing for ourselves. And well, that certainly happened. Deb had been at this amazing retreat center previously, and she suggested that we study with a remarkable practitioner there, Paola, who you're going to be meeting in just a couple of minutes. Paola Caire, I believe. I should have asked. Paola is this interesting and amazing blend of total warrior goddess, along with a very gentle spirit nymph, a wonderful yoga teacher, spiritualist, and also a guide to many cultural traditions and ceremonies. Studying with Paola and getting to see many of her beautiful facets of love for the lago, the lake, the people, the energies, and conscious living truly was life-changing for me. I am so very honored to introduce you all to my friend and my teacher, Paola, joining us from her home in the mountains surrounding the absolutely amazing Lake Atitlan, Guatemala. So Paola, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosa. Thank you for this opportunity to share a little bit of my life with you.
I am so glad you are here with us, and you were willing, and it's so wonderful to see you again in your element, in your gorgeous home. So I shared with you the questions that I've been asking the various interviewees in this series. And I always start off by stating for the record with you and to all those listening that, in no way are we doing therapy here. That's not the idea here. The idea is, to help people get to know you a little bit and for you to feel comfortable to share with us whatever it is you would like to share. So I'm not going to ask pushing, probing questions. It's up to you to tell us what you wish to tell us. Okay?
All right. Perfect.
So first question, so who are you? Who is Paola? And what how would others describe you?
Well, Paola was born in Mexico, and I was born in a family where I was able to feel really protected and cared for. And my family was from other countries. Their background was French and Spanish. So in a way, I never really felt Mexican because the people around me always see me as a foreigner. And it gave me a different way of experiencing Mexico. Although I feel Mexico, it's deeply in my heart. And I was blessed to be able to connect with a lot of the indigenous cultures there that provided so many beautiful teachings that have formed me to the person that I am today. And Paola was born with a brother who was an amazing company for me and a teacher. And I always see my small brother, as the biggest soul and the biggest light in my childhood and my life. And he's a great brother. We always are close. And I also was very blessed to have a mother that was a warrior and that taught me how to be strong and to follow my dreams and my passions and she was a very big influence in my life, and my father was a great provider and a great protector, not very controlling, which I was always free to live and to do as I wanted, because my father was so easy. So even though the machista culture in Mexico is strong, I was able to live very free during my childhood. Later on, I became a student, and I was able to learn English. That was the biggest tool that my school and my school teachers gave me, and I'm so grateful for these two teachers that I had, and that they not only inspired me to learn another language, but to also be open to other cultures. And I started traveling since very early in my life. I was lucky to go to different countries in the north, and my mom brought us to Africa and Europe. So I was able to see a lot of different ways to live. But always I felt inspired by the indigenous, the native cultures, their way of living so simple with almost nothing and finding full happiness. After my years of studying, I went to university. I studied nutrition. And after I graduated from that career that helped me understand better the physiology, the anatomy of the body, more than anything else, I started traveling to India. And what really made me go to India, and this is a very important part of my life, it's when I went to have this experience with a shaman in Mexico, with a shaman from the Huichol tradition. And I did a peyote ceremony with him. And using this medicine from the earth really opened me the vision into the spiritual world and into the spiritual reality of things. And I realized that after this experience, all I wanted to do is to be in harmony with nature, and to eat healthy foods, and to grow a garden, and to be able to see my trees grow and give food to my daughter, for example. And this is what, after a few years of traveling, I finally settled down in Guatemala, in this land that I've been working in for the last 16 years. And I've been seeing my dreams manifesting in front of my eyes without a lot of effort, just following my heart every day and every step in the moment. And I believe in the earth and the earth cycles, and having time to observe the earth. It's the biggest medicine that we can have today. So this is me. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a massage therapist. I'm a cacao ceremony leader. I'm a sweat ceremony leader. I'm a lover of crystals. I just feel so connected with the mineral kingdom as the greatest teachers of us, and they are so old, and they will be here for many, many generations when we part. So this is so fascinating for me, to be able to have contact with these beings that are so wise and that talk to us into our inner knowing. Now I've been spending almost 1 month in this house in the mountain, and being more aware of all the animals that live around me, the birds and the squirrels, and the different sounds that they make in the different times of the day, has really helped me to connect back with the land and with the roots. And growing food from the land, it's one of the biggest gifts that I receive, and it takes a lot of patience and constant effort, but at the same time it's joyful effort, because it nourishes our soul. So that's a little bit about me. And I also been a lover many times, and I found many beautiful men in my life that gave me so many things, so many beautiful gifts. And some of those gifts were joyful, some of them were painful. And I'm just grateful for all of those experiences that have allowed me to even know myself better in different moments. Yeah.
Beautiful. What would you say if you could? What's your kind of mantra of life? What's your guiding principles?
More than anything is being present and trusting that miracles can happen. And when we are present, it's a gift. It's a gift to really fully be present, because each moment is so unique and it's full of gifts that sometimes when we think about the past or the future, we don't enjoy the simplicity of each moment and each gift. And most of the most beautiful things are free and they are allowed forever, like the blue sky. It will always be there for us. And the stars and the moon will always shine, and the sun will rise every morning to greet us. And the birds will keep singing and the plants thriving. And the earth is still giving so much. She doesn't stop. Any moment you plant a seed and you water it, the earth, it's going to grow it. So I think that when we focus on those very simple things, we feel the abundance of life, and we just need to trust that in the present moment, we are where we need to be and that everything is perfect. This is what I try to inspire people to connect with, that reality, because we deeply all know that it is there, but sometimes we forget. And I also forget and try to remind myself to go back into that moment, because when we get caught into watching too much news or being afraid, that is where we lose our power to be present.
It's so true. It's so true. I'm wondering if, I know you're on your cell phone there and we hear the birds, and I'm wondering if you would be willing to show us a little bit of your beautiful property, your home, and tell us some of the story about it, because I know when Deb and I visited, I loved hearing your stories of this, because you created this, you forged this yourself.
I know, and when I started here, there was no water, no electricity, and I was just carrying my water, the big jug of water on my back, and I just had candles, and I was so happy, and so grateful. Slowly, I got water, and I'm going to show you now. This is the entrance of the property. And today was a special day. We did a sweat. So this is a fire circle where sometimes we make a ceremony. And this is the sweat, which is the womb of Mother Earth, and was built by a beautiful friend. It's all naturally built. So we did our sweat in there today. And then up here, I have the solar shower, which is a very simple shower with just a black hose on top of that metal roof. So it gets really hot during the daytime. Down there, I have a medicinal garden with aloe vera and lemongrass. And then here is the composting toilet, which has been something that I've been so proud of myself, not to be shitting in the water and cleaning ourselves with the trees. So this is the composting toilet, and it's basically 2 compartments. You use this one, and you squat, and after you just add some dirt with ashes leftover from the other sweat. And then there's a hose in here, so you can clean yourself with water and soap, and in that way, it's like you just took a shower. You're perfectly clean. Later on, you fill up one compartment, you continue with the other one, and I can empty the first compartment into the compost. And I actually just dig a bunch of that dirt to create new gardens when the lockdown started. So up here, we are coming up into my little house that has been evolving very organically, starting from one little adobe room into more space using only the stones from the mountain with a mix of lime and sand. And this is the crystals, the crystal collection. And each of these crystals represents a friend, a moment in my life. Sending prayers from here to all of you that are watching this. And this is my kitchen. It's a very simple kitchen with the spices. I don't have a fridge. I only eat mostly plant-based diet with a little cheese and ghee here and there. I have a stove, an oven. This is the water from my kitchen. And this is my room. Just a big bed for all the family to fit in. I don't have a TV. And then I have a little tub that I use sometimes, a hot tub, sometimes a cold tub after the sweat. And this is a plant that I brought from Mexico, and you can eat this leaf. It's called hoja santa. It's a very big plant. You can make soup with it. And this is the hot tub area with the couch. And after the sweat, it's so nice to have a nice cold tub to refresh. And all of these are eatable plants. This is oregano, more of the hoja santa. And higher up, there's more gardens growing. This is another room for visitors. And there's a lot of coffee growing as well. All these are coffee trees. This is a lemon tree, an orange. That's a mango tree. You can listen to all the birds. We have systems for rainwater collection, as well as water from the lake that we pump, and also the water from the spring. And recently I started these new beds, and these are all new plants that are coming. They are amaranth. These are all amaranth, tomatoes. And I just transplanted 2 days ago this bed of basil. I love pesto, so I'm going to have a lot of pesto here.
I remember your pesto was so incredibly good.
And this is the chard, the baby chards that are just coming, rainbow chards. And then there's all these plants that come just from the compost, like these tomatoes I didn't plant. They came from my compost.
Beautiful.
And I also created these systems where all the water that I use, for example, for washing my clothes, they come into these bananas. You can see there's bananas coming there. And the bananas, they like the water with soap. And this is another area for showering, another solar shower. And the water also goes down into, this is yucca, which is a very nurturing root. Bananas. And I also have another bed of arugula that I've been working with, which I love arugula so much.
This is amazing, Paola. Just in the time since I was there, so much more. Oh my.
All these arugula. Well, all these gardens, I just started them like right when it was this lockdown, right? And I have all this salad right now. These are beans that are coming now. And these are sunflowers that are young still, but they're coming. And you know, Jay Jackson actually gave me these seeds. These are from the Fincas Buenas crew.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and this is a big amaranth already with a flower.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. You just can see my cat is there in the garden.
Oh my gosh, look at that. It's beautiful, Paola.
I know. I've been having so much fun. This has been really my medicine, digging into the dirt and watering every day because it's not rainy season yet. So I have to water, and it just gives me so much energy after I finish working with the garden. I feel renewed, and that I gave my energy to the earth, but the earth gave me also. So that's what I'm most grateful is for being able to play, with the earth and grow food and feel her cycles.
It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Here's your pooter cat.
Hi, Blanky. Yeah, she's a good hunter too. And there is some avocados up there. That's an avocado tree. Well, so we have avocados and yucca and beans, and also my neighbors down have other kinds of salads that we're sharing in these different mixes. And it's been great to share time with my closest neighbors and friends.
Wonderful.
And even though there's so many regulations, we still keep prayers high, and people are still gathering. I have also these medicinal plants. This is orosus. This is for making tea. If you have a cough, it's very sweet leaf. And this is ruda. It's more like for protection. And all these are berries. Berries Yum. Here. And this is more the black raspberries.
So you mentioned, and just to clarify, when we're meeting today, it's mid-April, April 17th, I think it is, and 2020, and we're in the midst of the pandemic, coronavirus. Somebody might be watching this in the future, and who knows what this will be called in the future. Great flu, the great scare, the who knows what, but that's why we're meeting, and we're both kind of in a lockdown situation. You on your mountain and me on my island, and most of the world is right now. It's kind of a different place. And so meeting with you right now, I think is probably more wonderful than ever. Hearing and seeing how you're living and choosing to live even closer to the earth and one with the earth than even you normally do.
Totally, because I had different feelings like, oh, maybe I should go to my family in Mexico, or maybe Wendy told me, oh, come here to live in Villa Sumaya. But this land told me, like, no, take care of me, stay here. Yeah. And I've been doing this, and now every day I have like something to harvest, and I feel deeply close to the earth here and to the land, and I don't know what's going to happen, but deeply in my heart, I'm so grateful that we're not allowed to go out and there's no planes anymore. I'm so grateful that this happened because I feel the earth needed this, and I'm very sure the intelligence of the earth is creating this, and it's okay to die, it's okay, because dying is actually the biggest gift that we can receive in our life.
Yeah, I agree.
There's nothing to be afraid of, because the worst that can happen to us is actually the biggest gift. So let's just connect with that, and do the small things that we can every day, wherever we are.
I agree. And as we were talking about before, as we were talking about before, the earth is healing. And as we are stepping back and hunkering down, and our smokestacks aren't spewing and we're not dumping, and the earth is healing, and it's healing so quickly. Animals returning, and the skies clearing, and the water clearing and flowing, and it's wonderful.
It's sacred, really. It's sacred time.
It truly is.
Sacredness is like sacrificing something of ourselves, our freedom, and sacrificing. Like now I see this beautiful lake. There's not a single boat. Not a single boat. It's so beautiful, you know.
Like that.
Now at 4 o'clock, nobody can be on the street, so everybody is silent. It's so sacred. I'm so happy to be able to live it in this way. And I send a lot of prayers for all the people that are suffering, you know, and it really also affects my energy. You know, I feel sometimes the pain, and I try to focus my energy on the solution rather than the pain, you know. And the solution is love. The solution is love and trust and hope and doing the small things, you know, eating more garlic or having sweats and having a good soup with lots of lemon. But I'm not going to go crazy about like cleaning excessively, you know, or I don't even have a hand sanitizer or toilet paper, like not in my needs for years. So I will continue trusting that the earth is going to give us the immunity that we need and to be in a harmony with her and without fear. That's the most important.
What are your next steps, next things, or things that you still want to get to or to do?
Well, I would like to continue with following my biggest passions, you know, because this is what has brought me into everything that I am today. And in this moment in my life, I feel everything is changing so fast that I don't have a clear plan for my future. But what I have very clear, it's what makes me excited. And this is where I'm putting my energy, because that's the only food that I have, really. Especially right now. So the only thing that I feel passionate about is to provide for my daughter, who is the biggest love that I can have. Be able to share my passion, which is sharing sweats right now with people, because I feel the sweats are great medicine for this moment. Not only because of the heat, but also because it releases so much of emotional trauma that we are receiving, you know, with this experience. So I feel truly for myself, it's my medicine, and I hope I can share it with as many people as possible. At the same time, I feel gardening and my yoga practice has helped me to be where I am, and I am practicing a yoga that I've never practiced before, which is more just very free, you know, and very intuitive, and movements that I've never taught or did ever. And just because there's time, and there's time to play and to just be and do whatever. And it's so beautiful, because at the same time, when you are with the rhythm of the earth, it's like, yeah, but there's time to water. Every day you need to water, and every day you need to work and weed. And so this keeps you in the momentum of life. So movement, it's a medicine, you know, even if you can just move around your house or change the way your house looks, change everything. Like when this lockdown happened, this is what I did. I took everything out, like moved everything around. The kitchen changed everything, the beds, everything. And this is a refreshing thing. It's like a therapy that maybe people can do when they are in their homes. You know, change things around so that it brings a new life and a new light, a new feeling every moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. So to go back to the first question. So who is Paola?
Well, Paola is many things. And at the same time, I feel it's just one feeling. Because I feel ever since I have a consciousness that there's something in me that never changes. And I had many different chapters of my life that I can see, but there's one thing that has never changed, and I can feel that's Paola, really. And it's that permanent feeling of being alive. It's like a candle that it's lit, and you see the flame, but the candle changes in every moment, you know. It takes some wax down in one side and the other as we change through life. But I feel that flame is really me, and it cannot be described by anything that I have done or that I will do, because I think that's the only permanent thing. The rest is it's a story.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. You're so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, sweet. And you are as well. Thanks for being there for me, for all of us, for holding us so close and praying for us. Thanks for joining us and taking time from your beautiful life. And how wonderful to see you again.
I'm so happy to be able to share a little bit of my life with you.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosa. I love you.
I love you too.
This series on being a service warrior is brought to you by Networks for Training and Development Incorporated via funding by the Philadelphia and Northumberland Counties Behavioral Health Intellectual Disability Services in Pennsylvania, and with the help of Joe Sterling of Joe Doggy Productions, Waikapu, Hawaii. Many thanks to all our guests and fellow firewalkers for sharing their wisdom, learnings, and joy with us.